Hello citizens and welcome back. This is just a video to react more to the City 2 Arsenal 2 game and to talk about what's come out since, particularly immediately what happened after the game when the final whistle went. There was a couple of arguments, a couple of things said. So yeah, let's jump into it. But yesterday's game, after everything simmered down and you calm down a little bit, you realise Arsenal are scummy as ever. I'm just looking back at that game, some of the incidents in that. The way Walker was pulled out of position for the referee to allow for a quick free kick. The way City defended them set pieces. Some of the comments with people like Piers Morgan who said Arsenal battered us and it's been a shift, in power. I mean, what nonsense is that when City have 33 shots, Arsenal have 5? You can look at the sending off all you want. It was a sending off all day. He fouls Bernardo, kicks the ball away. What are you going to do? It's typical Arsenal, really, complaining about their being cheated when in reality, they're the ones trying to cheat the system. They're trying to, get the advantage. Look at that second half when they were all taking it in turns, going down, setting down, wasting time over and over again. Havertz not completing a single pass or game, along with whoever else it was. There's two of them that's not completing a single pass or game. It's appalling from a team wanting to be champions. And at the end of the game, Haaland got a little bit of stick for throwing the ball at the back of Gabriel's head. I thought it was quite funny. Really enjoyed it. But if you're part of this Sir Alex Ferguson, school of thinking, you probably think it could have killed him. And then, he barges into party straight after the kickoff. Love that. Got in Gabriel's face. I love that even more. And it all kicks off at the end. And when Arteta come over, Haaland tells him to stay humble, Stay humble, which he needs to do because we're going to talk about that in a second. And then he gets in the way of Jesus, and Jesus asks him what he's doing, and he tells him to fuck off. And to be honest with you, I'd tell him exactly the same. Let's look at Arteta. He's going on about titles and all this and all that nonsense. And you look at Arsenal in particular, and they win the Community Shield last season, and they celebrate like they won the treble, going on about how they're going to win the league, and that's all their fans held on to. Won the Community Shield. The Community Shield they were in after not winning a single competition the year before because we won it all. And they're going on about what a great team they are back then. Then last season, they bottle it again towards the end of the season. They lose at home to Villa, and that loses in the title. They come to the Etihad and try and defend and don't play aggressive, don't play attacking football. So I'll just try and get all 11 players inside that 6-yard box, which is what they did yesterday. They've still not evolved, Arsenal. They're still the same shit team they were last season and the season before. And they're still bottlers now. You look at that game last night when we scored that equaliser at the end, when we, like I said, we had 33 shots last night. Often defenders, all terrible shots, but we still had 33 shots. We still had all that possession. And even when we're down to 10 men, we wouldn't play like that. We wouldn't at all. For Arteta to get in Haaland's face and for Haaland to tell him to stay humble, I agree with that. He's got to stay in his lane. He's got to simmer down a little bit. He's done absolutely nothing, Arteta. Yeah, he's worked on an Arsenal team over the years and he's had a bit of time. But, there's no progression last season. And this season, there could be no progression again. We'll have to wait and see. Only the end of the season we'll say. But until you do it, until you get over that line, they've got nothing to celebrate for. They've got no reason to claim that power has shifted after yesterday's game when they sit in their 6-yard box like cowards. And the way they played, like I said, all taking turns going down, but injured. They're going on about we've got Oliver in our pocket. The stuff they got away with yesterday, I would have booked every single one of their players for sitting down because it was clear time wasting. And I've seen them do it against lower league teams as well, teams at the bottom of the table. Absolute scum behaviour. And then Jesus gets in Haaland's face and Haaland just tells him to fuck off, which I really enjoyed, to be honest with you. And you look at Jesus, the coward that he is, he forgets that City made him who he is. And if you think back to Jesus and he's going on about that he doesn't want to be a number 9, he's better on the wing, that he performs better. He absolutely bottled it as our number 9. He had the opportunity there to stay there and win titles as our main striker when Aguero left, but he bottled it. He couldn't handle the pressure. He said he wasn't a number 9, says he was more of a winger. Then he goes to Arsenal, where to play as the number 9. That just shows you his mentality as well, and he fits right in with Arsenal. They're all absolute cowards, and the way they were acting yesterday, getting in our faces, acting like they were the big I am. They're a small team mentality on the pitch, the way they defend, the way they play, how anti-football, how they all sit down pretending that's cowards that. And the small club mentality is what teams who fighting, who battling relegation would do. That's what they would do. They would come to us sideways from minute one like they did. So they're a small club on the pitch, absolute small club. And they think there's something massive off it. They're not. They're not massive off it at all. They might have their fan channels and whatnot, and the fans speak louder than anyone else, but absolute nonsense there. They got a team full of bottlers, team full of cowards. And I think I think Haaland summed it up best. You know, when I don't even know who it was, Skettles or whatever his name is, comes over to him after when Haaland squares up to Gabriel, and then he just turns to him and says, "Who the fuck are you?" Absolutely, who the fuck are you? That's what I'd say to Arsenal as well. And then lastly, you look at Bernardo, and he's going on that they've won 0 trophies. You know, they won nothing last season. And people will say this is, you know, the kind of negative attitude that we've got, and this is some big. But I disagree. You look at Pep in interviews, and Pep's always praising opposition managers, opposition players, opposition teams. You know, he's a fairly humble guy when he's in front of the cameras. Pep, see that? Yes, he's a winner and he's the best manager in the world, but he has stayed humble. You know, he's not ranting on about how great his teams are. Yes, he'll praise them when they win the treble, saying that this very few teams will do this when we've got 100 points. Yeah, and he's right to say that because we've done it. We've got over that line. But, you know, to be that way, how we are in that game last night, and I love that attitude from us. I love it from Haaland. I love the aggressiveness because they came out to kick, they came out to injure, they got in Rodgers' face immediately a couple of times, you know, and that's when Oliver lost the game when they started playing like that. So they thought they could come and bully us, and they couldn't. You know, they couldn't bully us, and we shown that last night. And when we, you know, when we're squaring up to teams like this, we saw it against Atletico Madrid a few seasons ago. We don't mind that physical challenge because we will step up. We might be champions. We might have won it 4 years in a row, but we're not going anywhere. We're still hungry as ever. We're not being affected by talk off the pitch. You know, we show it on, and we show it in our attitude and aggressiveness and willingness to fight for every ball and to battle till the end. And we got our rewards yesterday. Yes, we probably deserve to win the game, but we'll take a draw because it was a horrible second half. And I applaud the players for that. I really do. I think they've shown the kind of attitude that as fans we want to see from them, and yeah, absolutely love it. Absolutely. So yeah, 2-2 draw at the Etihad. Disappointing in the end, but probably when they went to one of you take a 2 draw. And to be fair, I would have taken a 2-2 draw before the game. On the way there, I told my dad that I thought it finished 2-2. So yeah, it is what it is. But don't think that I should be embarrassed by this or anything like that because that's the attitude I want to see. And when we play them at the Emirates later in the season, we'll go again. I'm pretty sure we're going to get in their faces because we're not going to let them do this to us again. And we did let them do it to us. We did let him play like a relegation fighting team by time wasting and sitting down on the pitch because we'll let them go in front. It's our own doing. Don't let it happen. And born Arsenal. And again, I'll go back to what Haaland says. Who the fuck are you? Thanks so much for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. Thanks very much. Bye bye.